Well, today's big story is the growing disappointment with local leaders.
Yeah, UNO just released the first quality of life survey in 4 years, and 6 out of 10 residents are unhappy with Mayor Cantrell's job performance, saying the city is worse off than it was 5 years ago. Paul Murphy's joining us live tonight to break down all the findings. Paul?
Katie Charisse, according to the UNO survey, the overall crime problem in New Orleans is having a profound impact on the quality of life here and people's perception of Mayor Latoya Cantrell. By contrast, across the parish line, satisfaction in Jefferson Parish remains stable and high. The first UNO Quality of Life survey in 4 years paints an unflattering picture of New Orleans.
Residents in the city are dissatisfied with life in New Orleans, and they say that it has become a worse place to live over the last 5 years.
Dr. Ed Chervenak, director of the UNO Survey Research Center, says the poll of 500 registered voters in the city showed a large majority is unhappy with Mayor Latoya Cantrell's job performance.
Only 31% of residents in Orleans give her positive marks for her performance in office, whereas 62% are unhappy with the job she is doing as mayor. 35% strongly disapprove of the job that she is doing.
The survey also showed NOPD Superintendent Sean Ferguson with a 35% job approval rating and the City Council with 45% approval. When asked what was the biggest problem facing New Orleans, 56% of the respondents said crime. That's compared to 35% 4 years ago.
And in Orleans, all right, residents lack confidence that the police can protect them. So it's not just a matter of crime being out there and being fearful of crime. There's also the sense that nothing's being done to address it.
Over in Jefferson Parish, nearly 40% of the 500 registered voters surveyed there also named crime as their biggest concern. 5% of residents in JP indicated New Orleans was their biggest problem.
People who moving in from New Orleans or crime from New Orleans or, Orleans Parish, so they're viewing it as more of a problem than ever.
While quality of life has declined slightly in JP, residents gave Parish President Cynthia Lee Shang and Sheriff Joe Lapinto high marks. The job approval rating for Lee Shang is 74% and Lapinto 79%. The survey was taken September 10th through 28th. It has a sampling error of plus or minus 4.3%. Now, the city's communications director, Gregory Joseph, released a statement about the survey, in part saying, while we understand and respect the concerns raised by the UNO report, this administration remains optimistic about the future of New Orleans. Throughout the city, our residents are experiencing firsthand increased police presence in their neighborhoods due to the additional deployment of public safety officers recently implemented by Chief Ferguson. More officers will, in return, make our communities safer, and the early progress this deployment has produced is encouraging. Reporting live at New Orleans City Hall, Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Paul. And according to the UNO survey, only 12% of residents have positive opinions of trash collection in New Orleans. That's compared with 67% just 4 years ago.
And Kate